two, one.
And we're live.
Ooh.
Sweet. Can we add music somehow, Ryan? I think that would be.
Ooh.
We need some sort of like lo-fi. What's the sound of a space station?
Yeah. I think we need some type of pre-roll. Okay, so the first couple minutes of the live stream are always the most boring. Just doing final sound checks here now that we have live stream. Hey Ren, how are you doing?
Great. Out at the farm. It's not raining. Sun is out.
Ren,
And,
let's hear how your drive went yesterday, and why didn't we
Ooh.
didn't do one of these on Tuesday?
Yeah, a little bit of rain in California. I don't think it's happened in a long time. Everyone was pretty shocked. Roads shut down. So yeah, Google said it was an hour and 15 minutes, and it ended up being about almost 3 hours door to door in the morning. In the evening was pretty fast. It was about 2 hours back home. So yeah, we missed Tuesday. No one could really make it out here, but
That's brutal.
Highway 1 is open now, so we're back up.
Ethan, how's your homestead doing? We it's so windy. We can't even hear him on the homestead. You are muted, my friend. You're muted.
Hey Hector, you can mute yourself unless we're talking.
Oh, okay. Well, before Hector mutes himself, maybe.
Okay.
So let's get a we have a new crew member on the team there on the ground with Ren. So this is our continuous operations team while we get this thing working. So Hector Camacho, master ag fabricator, and now helping us like operation on the team. He's on our camera here. So Hector, if you'll well, I guess Ren will take the camera for a second. We'll wave hi.
There's Hector.
Ren, do you want to, or Hector, do you want to say something for the camera?
Yes, I'm excited to be on this team, and I hope we can make a lot of successful things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hector, Hector was born and raised in Mexico. I think he came here when he was 16. Is that right, Hector?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Cool.
And now he's
And
building robots with us.
Hector, tell us about where you were before Farm and G. You were doing some really interesting work on another farm, right?
Yeah, I worked for the Rigo Brothers in Salinas for 16 years. The last 7 years, I'm working for Telemetry Robotics for the harvesting, and I'm making nice machines for them too.
Yeah.
And he helped with Tony and his strawberry machines too.
So yeah, Hector's been bending and welding and cutting all of the metal for all of the Amiga we produced over the last year. So it's been pretty awesome to be working with him, and now we're actually starting to see this thing work on the farm autonomously. So it's a new exciting phase of integrating this with the farm crew there. And so what's our setup? Are there new things happening with setup, Ren, here?
Yeah, we're starting to make a little command trailer that Hector's kind of shooting at right now. It's mostly battling the elements and trying to be productive on a computer out here. So the command center is going to be helpful. And we have some new power too, which is like the limiting factors on the farm is proximity to AC power. But,
cool.
Yeah, we're getting set up.
All right. So Ren, what's the goal for this afternoon?
Well, right now we don't have a single continuous path that we want, so we can literally do continuous operations. So I'm gonna remotely drive this tractor to our end location and back, and then we're going to make a path based on that. which as you see in the UI here, it's going to be based on these breadcrumbs from the RTK GPS.
Here, give us a second. We'll switch over to your UI view. Right. So we also have, of course, we've got Ren on the call, and Daniel.
And now Nathan is in front of me saying he doesn't want to be on, on the live stream.
Oh, okay, Nathan. Nathan doesn't want to be on the live stream. Oh, that's fine.
That's okay.
He does though. That's why he's crowding, Ren. He wants to be there. He's just being timid.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't you start trying to set up your path and the peanut gallery will.
I'm gonna respond to Nathan. Not today. Not today. We're gonna do it dry. Yeah, we're focused on the path at the moment.
Everything's good.
See, I told you I wanted to be on.
Does he know that we're live? You can tell him that we're live.
Don't be shy.
We need a big red light on the robot. It's like live, It's like live streaming.
And then that it's always fun when you're having a conversation and then a camera turns on and that blinking red light is like the most intimidating thing in the world, and suddenly you have nothing to say. Everyone just starts getting shy around the robots. You get robot shy. So what's Ren figuring out right now?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Closing communication loops. It's done.
Maybe make sure Nathan knows we're live. So
He knows.
Okay. He's trolling us.
Yeah. He's the on the ground peanut gallery.
Okay. Let me find my robot here in the UI. There it is. We have a nice clean path. All right, Hector, I'm gonna drive it over to like the entrance to the greenhouses, and I'll turn around and drive back.
And we have GPS breadcrumbs.
Yeah, we do.
Sweet.
Gluten-free too.
And then, so have you tried just like maybe you can try Ren. Have you gone through like just have you practiced like clicking through the interface?
I can do that as well. Yeah. So right now I'm just manually joysticking it with the joystick that you see on the bottom left of the UI. And now I can put my mouse over this camera feed. And we're just gonna go far here. I can double click to set my path. Oh, I need to enable auto and then. Maybe it wants to see it again. There we go.
Cool. All right, so this is week three on the farm. So we were rained out early this week. Both, man, the flooding around this area has been quite intense. Cut off our access from basically south of airport on one to anything south of airport was basically a 4-hour drive. So production testing have been down all week basically till today.
Yeah, in Monterey we had lost like citywide, Carmel, Seaside also, we had lost power like Thursday through Saturday. So that town was, things have been crazy.
And then I don't know if you've seen all the flooding going on, but just like every field in Salinas Valley is pretty impacted by this. So So Ren, it looks like you're getting more comfortable operating this by yourself without the engineering team on hand.
He's muted.
I have a bunch of like water pumps running by, which is a little loud.
Makes
But yeah,
sense.
there's less code to be written these days. Even though I did commit my first C++ today to FineMG, so that was cool. But we've been solving some foundational problems, infrastructure setup, yeah, less dependent on expensive people.
On what? I think I couldn't hear the last part.
Expensive people.
Ah,
So
look
yeah,
at-
our goal is to get it to the point where these guys, Ren and Hector can operate this, for a week without too many interventions from engineering, and then we'll hand it off. Oh, hey Ren, maybe cancel that goal and try
Okay.
specifying a different radius.
Is that over here on the left?
Yeah, you should see like a turn radius, I think. Yeah, there it is, right by your your mouse.
Slot ETA.
No,
Oh my
down.
gosh.
Sorry, there's
Oh my.
too many.
Oh yeah, it's
there's
okay.
too many
It's
knobs.
okay. It was at 1, right? So
Yeah, so like if you give it a greater turn radius, you should be able to make a smooth 90-degree turn.
okay.
So we don't cause like divots in the gravel there.
How does that look?
Well, look at it. Try looking at it from your map view while
Oh,
you're.
yeah. See if we can increase that a little bit more.
So and then it's not going to show you right now. It's like trying to respect the constraints. Yeah. So you have to place the goal far enough that it can actually make the 90-degree turn. So yeah, sure.
Let's try that. I think I kind of missed my mark.
Nice.
Straighten out. Oh no, accidentally. So when you press spacebar while the robot's operating, it will cancel the goal. Which I did accidentally.
Is that unexpected or?
It's expected and safe.
Okay. Maybe that's like a good turnaround point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where I'm at now. I like
Yeah.
that.
Why do you think that, Ethan? For those watching, what makes that a good turnaround point?
Okay, well, if we go further, maybe Hector can show us in his feed, like, so as the roof starts there, and so the GPS performance really does start to degrade as we get further into that bay, and so we're still working on our GPS denied visual navigation, which we'll start incorporating over the next coming weeks, so that we can kind of go in and out of good GPS coverage. But what happens is sometimes that impacts the GPS performance such that the robot starts drifting and becoming too uncertain. So we really need to ground it, but via the ground with the cameras, to be able to operate safely underneath those roof roof like structure. So what our approach is like, how do we just get something where we can just operate it all the time and get metrics from the system, and so it's a little easier to start with something simple that we can run repeatably rather than like the hard case that we're not quite ready to solve. And so that's the goal of this session, is to program a path. Maybe we'll keep this path stable for the next few days while we clean up the code, land some pull requests, and get some more infrastructure in place.
So you're saying you can set up this path immediately to get the job done, and then in the next few days, you can do some stuff to make it to enhance the capability, so you can do some other paths with other cool tasks. But meanwhile, the robot is running almost 24/7.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, it's just like because it can be frustrating if you're trying to test something, but it's like everything keeps breaking and you can't do it remotely, and so walk before you run kind of. It's the idea.
Ren, why do you laugh?
He said something about things breaking, which is just my life, is things breaking, and my job is to fix them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought the life of a lot of this was zen.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice
my
10
code
days on
runs
phone.
perfectly every time before,
Every time
like,
you run it.
it's very hard as like the person who engineered the system to not like just like what the hell are you doing? Yeah. But it's really interesting to watch very smart people like Ren interact with software that you built, but you can't touch it. So we're learning a lot. Thanks, Ren.
Yeah, of course. Here to help. I just made a mistake and lost my path.
I love the microaggression of Ren squeezing his fist right before saying that. Right as it happened, I just made a mistake.
Oh, you didn't save? You didn't? We need autosave.
It's like escape to me doesn't generally control C everything. Maybe we can make a change to that.
Oh, okay.
Like escape should cancel the path in my mind. So maybe I'm gonna make that note.
Oh, so you hit escape and it just the program?
I hit escape, I think. So we're having a bug that we just pushed a fix for, but we haven't put onto the robot and tested, where it's kicking out of auto mode. And I think we got into that state just now and I panicked. So, actually, Hector, can you put it back in auto mode?
I do appreciate that. I panicked is always an acceptable response to making an error. What happened? I panicked.
Some people aren't willing to admit that they're in a panic state.
No, I hear you.
Let's see.
We're going through this pain so our customers don't have to. We want it to be, I mean, the customer will go through their own pain learning how to use our crappy interface. So, but it's so cool. You can drive this thing from anywhere on Earth. So
it is cool. Takes a little bit of work to do it. Okay.
And it's working. I think the fact that you can, for the most part, unless one forgets to save it, you can get the path running while you do get other stuff working better. And that's what's so cool about this. Not a lot of teams that are, one, even at this point, and two, think that this point is just like barely a starting point. So it's working in the field. I suppose for those folks who haven't seen any of the previous live streams, where are you at today? Have we talked about that? What farm are you on, and where are we?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, while Ren focuses, I can talk. So this is Jacobs Del Cabo. This is their Freedom Ranch. So this is our first customer since now we've been with them for 2 years. and it's one of one of the first organic farms in the U.S. They grow fresh kitchen herbs here on. This is one of 7 ranches that they have in the Bay Area. It's an incredible farm with this specific ranch is right down the street from our factory, like 5 minutes drive. It's got about 10 acres of glass greenhouse with soil soil-based glass greenhouses, 5 acres of hoop house, 5 acres of field, compost production facility, cold storage. They've kind of vertically integrated operation, Wi-Fi and power infrastructure everywhere. So it's kind of a perfect test bed for us. And the crew's been operating and using the Amigas on a daily basis there. This crew named the Amiga, so it's an incredible test bed for Farm G, and we're so thankful to have them to have this space to work and play really with the robots.
Yeah, on-demand
yeah.
robot playground.
It's pretty cool. Soon enough, we're gonna have a real on-demand robot playground where we go to the next live stream. We'll let somebody watching get the comms and get to do tele-op and control the robot from the live stream.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
next.
Like that.
You have to like and subscribe.
You have
Yeah.
to like exactly.
Yeah.
Ren, can you recenter that geometric view of the Amiga?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I just got a text from a friend saying a VC that tweeted a shout out at Jay Malik, actually, Countdown Capital, safe from Shinkai Systems sent it to me. It's not obvious yet, but the decline of American farming will become one of the most important issues of our time. Interesting. Ethan, what do you think about that? You weren't focusing on the stuff before, and now look how you spend your time after leaving Google.
I don't well, our farms aren't declining; they're just getting way cooler. So I don't know. Yeah, what's cool. I'm very excited about all of this smart, bright people that are trying to solve problems on the farm and make things both economically and environmentally sustainable. Everyone's trying to solve this. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think we're in danger of a decline. I think basically people are mobilizing to figure it out. I mean, there's nothing really much more important than eating. So
that seems like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some pretty smart dudes come in and a really savage team and mobilizing a very mobile robot.
I mean, I had the pleasure of this morning we were talking with a group from USDA who's a customer on this, and yeah, it's just such a bright light. There's people dedicating their lives and working on this agriculture, sustainable agriculture for their entire careers, and that we're building tools that can support those people too. I mean, it's like we're doing the easy part. We're just integrating technology, and the hard stuff is like how do you grow food with levees breaking and weeds that are herbicide resistant, and like insects and diseases that no longer respond to controls, like evolve past everything that we've been able to throw at them. So I mean, it's kind of like it's and then how do you deal with the biodiversity loss that farms cause? And every farmer is aware of these issues and working to make their systems better, and then there's so many public servants working on this, and professors and students. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's crazy to see the top minds in the world coming to this problem set. And so that said, what are we doing right now in the field, Ren? Where we at? It seems like you made some progress.
Yeah, I essentially starting over. I started from Phil, our compost filler, and I'm gonna drive to our end location, turn around, and come back, and not hit escape and lose my path.
It might be Nathan. It might be good to activate some socials and see if we can get our current stream count up.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's see. Have we gotten it? Have we sent it? Did you do LinkedIn yet? LinkedIn is live. Instagram's been posted. I think we just have little baby social properties. It was busy people.
Well, we need to call in the moms then.
My mom was the first one I sent it to. I'll bet she's watching now.
I'm gonna send it to my kids.
You should. Yeah, mom's a big fan. She's like, this is the coolest. We're beating daytime television.
Are we?
My mom's choosing this instead of whatever else she would be doing right now.
Yep. All right.
Did you send it to your
I'm
mom?
not yet, but I will.
Yeah, you got to send it to your mom.
Not yet. I can't. I can. She's probably selling houses right now.
Really? You know what would help? If she could like, hey, this house, and then she could just connect it to the robot somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I'd be a great salesperson could figure it out. So to recap, you said progress has been made. We were back at square one, and
Yep.
marching towards square two. Absence of the escape button.
Mm-hmm.
Solid strat.
Yep. It's gonna work out. It's actually really nice. I haven't had someone like Hector physically buy the robot. Well, I can kind of focus on the computer, so this is really helpful.
Yeah, that's fair. Teamwork makes the dream work. 10 points to
Mhm.
Hector. Why is it moving so slowly?
Oh, I have to hop off for a second.
Okay. It's moving slowly because of safety.
Dumb.
We have decided to drive it at I'm not exactly sure what the rate is. We can see it in here somewhere. Okay, so I think we just are experiencing the bug that it kind of caused me to hit escape last time. Hector, can you see if it's in manual mode and then put it in auto?
What's your thinking around trying to debug
Yep.
it right now?
Debug this?
Yeah, what are you thinking right now? What do you think the bug
Kyle
is?
has already debugged it and wrote a fix for it. I just haven't had a chance to test it.
You're ready.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, we're having
10
10 points to Kyle.
Ryan, we
I
need
don't
like
get
a
any.
ding 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 ding. We need like a port stick. Like,
Yeah. I'm
the
taking
horses
notes.
At, like an amusement park where you spray it and the horses go. We need like our own Amigas, and somebody's getting more points based on who's well. I know Hector and Kyle are leading.
Friendly map reminder, Ren.
Oh, yes, yes.
In the future, as we get more advanced sensing and navigation and safety features,
Mm-hmm.
how much faster can it go? And how will that what's the limit? What is too fast?
Yeah, too fast is when parts are wearing down too quickly or things are breaking. And then, obviously the safety thing, but safety, assuming we've solved the safety side, it's just based on load, right? The load of the vehicle is going to dictate what we should allow its max speed to be. Especially with these compost spreaders and like the zero, in place turning, it just puts it stresses everything, and forces things to break down over time.
What are those typical wear and tear repairs that need to be made?
There is there's a pinion gear and a big ring gear and a motor, and that's those metal parts wear out. What else? Tires can rip off the bead.
Oh, really? Have you seen that much?
Oh yeah, a couple
That makes me
times.
think of
It's
like
just
a. Go ahead.
it usually happens when there's kind of low psi. Someone hasn't been filling up the tires. Um,
Yeah,
it'll
when
be
you,
We need like
susceptible.
walks into a
when you
drift.
have like 2,000 pounds of
Yeah.
compost in it, and you're trying to turn in place. Yeah, it's
Oh, map.
Yeah, we're burning tires like it's Tokyo Drift. Yeah, I really, really want to do a robot race. Like,
at like
probably
half.
safer,
You should.
Yeah.
not with people on it, and cooler. But being honest,
How am I looking close to that tractor, Hector? Okay.
That's a good spot. Maybe just don't
Okay.
get close to the. Don't push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn left a little bit.
Oh, you're going further in.
Oh, you're right. I got.
Yeah,
This
maybe
is a
maybe
good
put,
place.
No. I would make sure your turnaround when you save the path, and I guess you're just getting the breadcrumbs, but make sure you're before the entrance to underneath the cover there. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Hector, am I underneath the roof or are we outside?
I think you can turn around. It's safe. So we have plenty space.
Is the roof directly above it, or is is it open sky above the robot?
You're underneath the roof. I think like if you turn around before you get to the tractor.
So how do I remedy that now?
Well, you're just placing breadcrumbs, right? So if you
Mhm.
maybe just like turn in place here
Just-
so that you get like a breadcrumb
Mhm.
mark.
Got you.
Yeah, and then if you zoom into see how that comes up in your map view.
The one nice thing about it being offset.
Yeah. Well, and then yeah, notice how like the breadcrumb will be on now the right side. So you should be able to program from this point all the way back to the start by clicking on the map view.
Oh, got you. Okay.
But just keep the left track. So cancel your path, your previous path.
There we go.
And now try to like do the longest segments you can and have the left track follow your breadcrumbs. And then, but so you're going to turn, so you mark it right at the straight. Yeah, well, it's still straight.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And then tune in your turn radius. So that looks like too tight of a turn radius. So make your turn radius larger. And
I
then
think.
till it's on the straightaway. Were you happy with where the Amiga was as you were driving down that road?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. I'm kind of unsure about this corner. There's a lot of room right there. So that would be okay. Yeah, so we're pushing.
So
So
now
it was
like
on the right side.
now try to make
Now
that
it's gonna be
path all the way. Yeah, to the end.
right. And I'm trying to align it with this left track, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, you might want to start
Where-
over, get your turn radius so it matches. Minimize the number. I mean, we'll have a program that can do this soon, but
Right. Yeah.
I have to go talk to a guest, so I'll be back.
Okay. Sounds good.
it's nice seeing the robot in a equipment yard with other farm equipment. Being like, ah, yes, generations.
I know. I really love I love the contrast of every time we drive through there. It's this tractor wheel and tire that's above my head, and then our little Amiga.
And specifically that giant tractor that with a wheel taller than your head to pull an implement that the Amiga can pull.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like how often are these big tires just because you need to like not get stuck in the mud? Yeah, it's like pretty heavy too, but the Amiga can carry up to 1,000 pounds. He said the compost spreader had up to 2,000 in it.
We put 2,000 in it. I wouldn't publicize that as far as the capability.
It's like the Tesla ludicrous mode. It's like, we're gonna all legally acknowledge that you are making a ludicrous decision, right? All right, noted.
Yeah, it's in the name.
Ethan, we were talking about the contrast between the Amiga with the giant tractor behind it, and like that's not even very big of a tractor, but that's like Red saying he's walking by, the wheels are taller than his head, and the Amiga's pulling the implement that tractor was originally needed to pull.
It's cool.
You seem less enthused than we were.
No. It's a good juxtaposition for sure.
Oh, like Red. So what's happening now?
Oh, I am creating a nice turnaround right back to Phil. This is the longest one I've ever done like this.
Like the longest distance of the path?
Yeah. The other day we had a demo, and Ethan and Kyle were kind of working back and forth doing this stuff while I was doing what Hector was doing.
Well, thank you to Hector. Also, Kyle, you are missed. I hope you're not watching because you're doing something interesting.
His family is in town visiting him in New York.
Oh, that's fun.
But I'm just so excited that like Kyle can operate it from New York. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kyle's in New York. You're in Watsonville. I'm up at the space station looking down on you all. It's crazy how far this thing can go.
Oh yeah, space.
Oh, space.
We have some fun things happening this week for FarmNG too. So
should we talk about space, or is that preemptive?
No, space is our partner. We have a customer, Firefly Aerospace, for our GPS denied navigation technology that we're porting. Well, actually, like building for the Amiga, but they're using it to land on the moon. Part of their Blue Ghost program, NASA CLIPS mission. So this is a really awesome program that NASA has. It's the Commercial Lunar Payload Services, CLIPS. And so NASA has a few moon landing missions a year that they award to, like, there's like 12 small businesses that are allowed to like bid on these, and Firefly Aerospace is one of them. And so these are autonomous robotic missions. It's like a precursor to the Artemis program. So NASA is really trying to bootstrap the industrial base required to have a permanent colony on the moon. And so, because the U.S. hasn't landed anything on the moon like in 50 years, right? And like we've forgotten how to build rocket engines that are appropriate for it. We've forgotten all the math and the algorithms and the software and how to do this. And so it's really important to rebuild all of that knowledge if we ever want to kind of start exploring the moon again, and other planets. And so it's pretty exciting. So we've been working on that project, their first mission, the first Blue Ghost mission, for almost 2 years now, as the Vision Navigation team. And then we've been submitting proposals to NASA basically for repeat missions with Firefly Aerospace, and they were just awarded their second moon landing mission to the dark side of the moon. It's not actually dark; it's just the side you can't see. So, but the team's super psyched because basically our software that they're using for the first mission, they'll get to use it for the second mission. And so yeah, but so if you need, we've got like basically the equivalent of GPS, but all you need is a camera and you point it at the moon.
Why does GPS not work on the moon?
Well, there's actually part of the first mission, NASA's testing some GPS receivers on the moon. We just don't know, like, it hasn't been proven. So it could be that you could get some radio ranging from the moon, from Earth geosynchronous satellites. But the moon's pretty far away, so the accuracy will go down. And so, there's no GPS constellation around the moon.
Why?
So,
what does GPS stand for? What is the problem?
Global Positioning System. So it's like, okay, NASA wants you to land your spacecraft in a very small spot, a very precise spot for their science experiments. And you're going around the moon. How do you do that? And so, and so if you had GPS, just like our rover, you know where you are within a centimeter, which is incredible from GPS. Gosh, you could just land anywhere. But that does, that doesn't exist on the moon. That capability doesn't exist. So,
and how is Space NG providing that capability?
Yeah, Farm-NG. Pun. We have a Space Next Generation as our business unit operating, to support aerospace. But so, Farm-NG. Well, you have to bootstrap it, right? So how do we do bootstrap it? We can use cameras, and the moon is a very well-known object. So we can, use our expertise in computer vision to locate where the camera is with respect to a known object. Be it a compost fill station or a crater on the moon. So
I'm team figure out how to get this thing ruggedized for the moon too. If we could do the navigation to get it there, we need an Amiga on the moon as well to start the official terraforming project. I'm saying it now.
You need to make a magnesium Amiga.
I don't know, like, how expensive would a head of lettuce be if you grew it on the moon? It'd be pretty expensive. But eventually it'll be cheaper than growing it on Earth and shipping it up to the moon. So
true. Okay, that's a cure. I think it'll be a while until we have that many people, but fair. If this goes well, it'll happen sooner.
So it's all about launch costs. It costs like a ridiculous amount of money to get a kilogram of mass onto the moon. So the whole game is like, how much fuel are you going to spend to get your payload or your science experiment onto the moon?
I love thinking, all right, cost how much to get a kilogram of mass on the moon? How much food do you need? How much is the robot that can grow food weigh? All right, that's the calculation I'm rooting for.
I'm under the impression, actually, we have a pretty good growing environment here on Earth. You don't need rocket fuel and Delta V to get stuff off of Earth to grow food.
It seems more, it's more accessible.
Yeah,
it has oxygen.
So, what do you mean? What oxygen? Come on, stop. You think it's small, Ren. You gotta be.
Yeah. I don't want to interrupt our
water, But okay, so where are you at, Ren? Can we see like a closed loop or?
Yeah. So I'm done with that path. I'm not sure of the next. What is my next step here?
Did you save it?
I can save it.
Save the slot. Are you sure you have a full loop? You made the full path?
Okay, no, I did not. I did half of the path. No, I did the full. No, I did the full path, right?
Yeah. You have like red lines for the whole path?
We do not. and
Oh,
breadcrumbs.
oh.
What do
So-
red versus blue lines mean?
So go ahead.
I can't see what you're looking at.
What had
Right.
happened is my full path went. I had misaligned it because of the offset. So I see the GPS here. So it was like a tractor's width away from where it needed to be.
Ryan, do you mind bringing us to the full screen of the display of Ren's view? So, yeah, so Ren, what you have to do is with our current interface, you have to like program the full path to
Okay.
click the full path, and then you have
Yeah.
to save that path in like a save slot,
Right,
like a
right,
video
right.
game.
Looks like we've
Sorry.
got some new viewers.
like-
Ethan, you want to give a quick little download on what exactly Ren's doing?
Yeah, so Ren, okay, right now Ren is trying to get to a closed loop test. So path from the compost station to a destination in the farm. So he's currently programming with our remote control tool here. Um, a set of waypoints that the robot will follow. And so we're trying to get to the place where we can continuously go between 2 points on the farm. No, but so Ren, don't
So-
execute the path. You have to you need to specify the
Oh,
whole
okay.
path before you start going.
Okay.
And so unfortunately, like you're gonna since you're the artist here, right? We don't have the tool. You have to try to basically draw from the starting point to the end point, and then save that path.
Yep.
And so really try to have the radius set correctly at the turn so that you follow your breadcrumbs with the right hand. Since you've driven it already, have the right hand path really follow. You might have to cancel the path a couple times to get it right. We're working on a path fitting feature, but
What do you mean by path fitting feature? Break that down.
Well,
for the...
well, we want to have it so that it's a little easier, or it's this kind of a counterintuitive interface. So, if you've driven the Amiga on a path, then we can easily kind of save those paths, fit line to them, and make it easier for someone to specify routes on the farm. So
Awesome. What other cool features are coming up that you're stoked about?
Is this looking good, Ethan? I feel like you're watching, thinking about what I'm doing.
I can't see the screen, unfortunately. It's blocked
Okay.
by the other feeds. Yeah, so the turning radius there, you kind of have to end the straight segments somewhat before you want to turn.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Nice.
So what are you doing, Ren?
I am drawing a path slowly but surely. I'm having to align this wheel track with one of these breadcrumb lines. So right now the GPS is on the right side of the tractor. So I'm just aligning that right track with this existing breadcrumb path.
Yeah, and then try to go all the way, like if it's a straight segment, try to go all the way to your turning. So point with one
Nice.
path. And then and zoom into that area.
And what are you looking at, Ethan?
I'm just watching. I'm watching how Ren's programming it so that I can get some ideas on how to improve the interface.
What comes to mind for those who are watching? So they're not bored by our pondering
Oh.
and trying to debug
Oh,
actually hard problems.
okay. So Ren, it. I'll answer that question and then Ren it. Yeah, I guess I could end there. So now make sure you save the slot, path 0. Press save.
Okay. Can I? I'm gonna do 3 because I have the existing ones in there that still work.
Okay.
Let's do 3.
So this will be path 3 and just click
Okay.
save.
Right. So it saves it before it's been executed or anything.
Yeah. Press save.
I did.
You press
Save
save
it again, and then.
then press load. Sorry. Okay. It said that it saved it. That's good. Press load.
There we go.
Cool. And now try to execute the path.
Executing the path.
So this is a big milestone for us, Daniel, because basically before this, it was only software engineers who wrote the code that ever programmed a path that was longer than what we could see in the camera. So yay! Yeah, someone that didn't write the code made it go
Yeah.
go far.
Execute a clean path without hitting anything.
And
All right, so to recap, it's always fun how the biggest, most historic moments in science are delivered with the most subtle of punchlines. So, the punctuation of what just happened was that typically you need a really smart engineer with like a lot of acronyms and education to do what Ren just did, but for the first time, somebody non-technical or through a task that's not super technical,
Watch it.
got it working.
yeah, Ren's Ren's a pretty smart kid. So
Yeah. I mean the task. No,
But not a software engineer.
yes, perfect clarification.
Yeah.
Ethan's like, hey, that's my
Yeah.
boy. Don't talk about him like that.
Well, okay, yeah. So you don't need to have a PhD or like have 10 years of like constant git commits now to program the robot. You just need to like have been assembling robots for the last 15 years.
No,
and
not even that. I mean,
working around them.
so what I just did though was using very little technical skill that
Well, sure, but we
almost
haven't.
everyone possesses, right?
Well, we haven't proven that yet, right? So we have to keep lowering the bar. Once my
Yeah,
kids.
I love that Ethan was like, this is momentous. And then he's like, nah, I mean, it's like a thing.
No, yeah.
Well, if you think of like the bar, it's like, okay, like did you write 300,000 lines of code to make it work and you can operate it? Okay, yeah, great. Now Ren's
Yeah.
like, okay, did you build like 50 Amigas? Yeah,
Right.
great. Okay, now like
Have you never built a robot?
yeah, like Daniel, like if you can do it, then we're good, like.
I look forward to the day that I and other cavemen can control this robot. Our own form of excited fire.
I mean, I'm thinking I'll give my nieces a laptop and they'll be remote and we'll have an age range from like 4 to 18 and see who's capable.
Now is it child
Apparently-
labor? Is it child labor if a 5-year-old kid is helping Larry farm from a?
Not if
from
they
an
enjoy it.
iPad? So
That checks out to me.
okay, well that's really cool.
So it
All right.
worked. We're sending such big signals.
Okay, so now if you can program the return path, Ren, then we can go home for the day and save it in slot 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering the turn in place.
Well, you could manually. I think so. The idea here is like you would save someone time by just pausing the robot here, and then they would turn it in place manually. So we can have Hector turn it in place manually, or you could do it.
Yeah, I think I'll just do it so we don't have to change anything.
Okay. So you're just manually turning in place.
Yep. Overshot a little bit.
Yeah, so maybe like back up a little bit. Cool.
Right. And then now we've already saved and executed that one. I can clear it, right?
Yeah. And then like for
And
anyone watching, there's we're some other cool news we can talk about while we
Yeah. So are we
Where
gonna
can we-
share the very very exciting announcement that has not yet made its news?
Well, I mean, a little preview of it. Yeah, basically, I think next week, Tuesday, we're gonna have Claire Illinois on the stream, who's been working with our team for some time as an advisor, and we're excited to have her helping out and working with the team, but you'll find out next time when she's on the show. You'll find out next time what the announcement is. Or yeah, so I think we'll just tease it a little bit.
wait, I
Um,
want to know.
you want to know? You all
Maybe
right,
not.
all
You don't
right.
need to tell
It's
everyone.
so
but-
Tune in
exclusive.
next time.
No, well, okay. I guess if anyone's on, like our moms can find out. Yeah. So, well, no, Claire is joining Pharmagy full time as our COO, which is very exciting. So,
That's awesome.
and then she'll be on next Tuesday, same time roughly, as long as we don't have a major winter event, to talk about what she's going to be up to here at Farming and why she's so excited. So, but we're
Awesome.
super stoked to get such an amazing engineer and roboticist and great teammate to join.
Want
So-
to briefly speak to maybe some of her previous experiences and why her joining this mission to the point you made earlier that farming's actually at a pretty cool inflection point?
Yeah, I mean, so we're about 20 people large right now, and bringing Claire on, she has such a vast amount of experience in, basically bringing robots to market and high performance engineering teams. Worked at most recent post was at NVIDIA leading the robotics. She was a VP of robotics there, leading Jetson, and worked together at Google. She co-founded Auto, was VP of engineering at Uber, and and super passionate about agriculture and our food system and these practical robotic tools. So we're just we're building as Daniel likes to say, we're building the Avengers for robots for farmers.
Oh man, you talked about so the path seems to be working well, and you talked about our second space mission. We just dropped about the news about Claire. Yo, we dropping more than breadcrumbs, more than GPS breadcrumbs on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even talk about our upcoming raises and bonuses. It'll be in a couple weeks.
Oh,
That
okay.
actually got
The
canceled.
news.
Yeah. Okay. Nice, subtle hint. Yeah. No,
No,
we
it's-
still got to eat lots of ramen like for the next 24 months. Until we have like 1,000 robots in the field. No raises.
All right. Sounds
But this
good.
is agriculture, so it's not ramen profitable. It's rice and beans profitable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll start growing our food. Yeah. That's
Yeah, exactly. That's the strategy. We start paying the team in robots so they can grow their own food to feed themselves. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Things are just not going well.
So, if you do like and subscribe, you can get access to some of this insider information. Every live stream will tell you what's going on. Pharmagy is it's just so exciting to work with such a awesome team. Everyone on the team is so hardworking, so dedicated, and and so such a pleasure to work with. And I've never had the opportunity uh, in my career to work with like every person I've ever wanted to work with is like in the same building. Well, or remote, but
It's
virtual
easier
building.
when you're the CEO and founder and you can just build your team, right?
Well, no, even as CEO and founder, I mean, gosh, it's just so hard to find like the right mission and build the right team and have the right product and all things line up, right? And so, um, and yeah, and all of this went down while like basically the world is like the startup world is collapsing around us. So it's yeah, it's an interesting, very interesting time
Yeah,
in the
the
career.
company's going strong though. Got Claire joining, second NASA mission. Robots are working. Lots of How many are we manufacturing a month at this point, Ethan? And all from a single factory in Watsonville.
Yeah, we have a 3-person crew led by Bernice, who we'll have to have on here, that is producing like 16 of these a month, assembling them in our factory, and then we do all the fabrication. So when Hector's not here helping Ren, we've got a small fabrication team basically making all the metal for those machines. So go Watsonville.
And what do you think we're going to be at by the end of the year? How many robots is Watsonville, California helping produce?
I don't know. It depends on hopefully a lot. I don't know. What do you think? What are your bets?
My guess is over 100.
100 month?
That's my goal.
That's a good stretch goal. Yeah. No, I mean we want to hit 1,000 by the end of next year. So
if we can hit 100 by the end of the month,
I mean, I like your guys' numbers. I'm a big fan of, I mean, I'd be happy if we have 10 robots that are like actually doing awesome stuff every day. That to me, that's what's really cool. I mean, if we sold 30,000, that's cool too, but like what are they doing?
Well, exactly. So I like it. That's a good scoreboard. How many are we getting out the door and how many are actually singing for supper?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I assume if people are buying it, they're using it for something. So
Yeah.
Fair.
You can always, yeah.
And they're available. If you visit the link in the video description, you can check out farmandg.com, get your own robot today. And on that site specifically, you can get one for pretty much $1,000 a month, thanks to Shopify. So you should do it. You should totally get a robot. It's like R2D2, but it grows food too. And
yep. And if you buy one because you're watching this live stream, I will personally hand sign your robot and give you personal signatures from the team that built it.
I guess man, dude. Well, yeah.
Okay. Where can I get one?
Yeah, your 12,000 robot just turned into it's worth a lot more.
Your mom just got one. She's like, my son's got the most important autograph. Hey, you
I
better
think
buy
we
one
have
too,
Larry.
Mom. Don't let Ren beat me.
You can see in the camera feed Larry and his new puppy.
Oh, show dog. Show dog. Puppy. Show dog. What's the doggo's name?
I was just trying to think of it. It's like a Swahili name.
Oh, dog. Dog in Swahili. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever dog in Swahili is, that's the dog's name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, somebody please Google it. Let us know. Shout out to the doggo. Shout out to Larry. This seems like a good place to call it. Have we covered any more ground we need to cover before Tuesday's very exciting event with our new COO, Claire?
No, I think, I mean, this is pretty awesome milestone, Ren.
Recap that milestone really quick for anybody who may have just recently joined.
Yeah, so Ren just successfully programmed a closed loop path that we can use for kind of continuous integration testing on the robot. Maybe like you can convert.
How'd you put a closed loop path super simply?
We have 2 points on the farm. They're very far apart, and so we have a path from point A to point B and a path from point B to point A. And so now like we can just like repeat those 2 paths all day long.
So what would be a task you could do with that now that it's possible?
Well, so this practical task here is maybe while we talk about it, Ren, you can send it on the slot, one of those pads. But yeah, so practically, now this lets you, fill up a bin. So like, okay, you've emptied your compost spreader. A person can hand it off to the remote this autonomous path, and the robot can automatically go to some other point on the farm where it can be filled up, and then it can automatically go back from that fill station to a place where we can do a handoff to a person. This has implications in the use cases in spraying. So you can once your tank is empty, go back to a nurse tank, fill it up. Once if you have a bunch of harvested materials on your on your robot, and you get to the pack shed, you can send it to the pack shed, have the robot return to you where you're working in the field. So this has many different use cases for logistics on the farm, and super big milestone for us as a team.
Bravo, 10 points to Ren. Hector, 20 points to you.
Yeah, thank you, Hector, for joining us.
Again, if you're watching, you want
Yeah,
your
you're
own
welcome.
robot, want to figure out how you can start doing this stuff, it's available today. Check the link in the description. Buy your own robot, $1,000 a month. It's pretty much R2D2 for food.
Sweet. Thank you, Daniel.